So you want to burn a Quran? The Quran burners and racial epithet invokers are not making a very good showing here. They insist that they are having an intellectual discussion, if you will. They say that the object they seek to defile is only that, an object. In other words, the object is only the sum of its parts. The Quran is only a book, therefore, a stack of paper with words printed on it. Likewise, the racial epithet used against people of African descent is only a word, a sound formed in the back of the throat and represented in writing by letters. But we know that these objects have meaning far beyond the sum of their parts. And it's not that you seek to harm the object itself, it being merely an object. What you seek to do is hurt the person who holds the object or some aspect of the object dear. We are not stupid. We know that in defiling the thing the person values, we do a kind of violence to that person. You know the deed to your house has value to you beyond the paper it is written on. You know your home is far more than the piece of land it sits on and the materials used to build it. If I burn down your house, I wound you in ways that go beyond the value of the lost materials. A very long time ago, someone I love dearly gave me a Bible that had been in her possession for many years. I'm not Christian, and I hardly ever have cause to open a Bible, yet that book meant a great deal to me. It hurt me badly when someone took it without my knowledge and left it in the rain where the leather binding was ruined. Since then, I've had access to far more opulent copies of the Bible, but none can compare to the meaning or value to me of that one book. If your wife had a set of porcelain teacups passed down from her mother, but the teacups have no real dollar value, and you decide to urinate and spit on the cups in front of your wife's face, you know what that would do to her. You know it's not the cup you hurt, but the woman. So we shouldn't pretend that we don't know exactly what we're doing here. It's the reason we don't give away our daughter's kitten or throw away our son's ratty teddy bear. The object is worth far more than the sum of its parts. In using the sum of its parts argument, the bully invokes the absolute to cover himself or herself. However, we don't live according to absolutes. We live in a relative world where every one thing is related somehow to every other thing, and where books and words mean far more than their material or their uttered sound. The violence done is done via the painful emotions invoked when the object is defiled. Now, I believe firmly that the universe is a feedback mechanism. It reflects to us the content of our thought, our intentions, and our belief. We are in an ongoing conversation with the conscious universe. It responds to our questioning with humor and sometimes chastisement. Watch carefully, therefore, to see what events and people present themselves in your environment whenever you are pondering something. The events are like waking dreams, whose symbols you must interpret for your answer. Watch to see whether the road rises up to meet you, or whether the floor falls out from under your feet, signifying rebuke. How did the universe respond to that pustular eruption of the racial epithet nigger within the YouTube atheist community? It was shortly after this that Laura Schlesinger had her Road to Tarsus moment with Talking Donkey and all. And sure enough, the YouTube troublemakers scrambled to distance themselves from Laura, saying their attitude was not similar to hers. So the universe gives its answer. And by the way, what a stunning coincidence of timing. But I don't really believe in coincidence. Watch to see whose company you find yourself in. Do you find yourself in fine company? Do you stand with people you admire or with those you abhor? Do you find yourself achieving ideological symmetry with a thoughtful Frank Rich, for example, or the intelligent, if troubled, Hitchens? Or are you horrified to find yourself standing with the Glenn Becks, Andrew Breitbarts, Laura Schlesingers, and Mel Gibsons of the world? This is the conscious universe's response. That you are horrified to find yourself in such poor company is the message. If Mel Gibson's inappropriate self-pity and absurd abuse embarrasses you, then that is a message. If you find yourself scrambling to distance yourself from Laura Schlesinger to avoid the swift justice exacted upon her, then that is a message. If you find yourself imposing on every black person you know to rescue you from your folly, similar to how Laura sought cover from black comics, then that too is a message. If in attempting to slander someone and rob them of their safety, their peace of mind, and good name, you've created a deliberate deception like Andrew Breitbart created, then the hatred poured out toward Andrew is a message to you. So finally, to sum it all up, when you pose a question to no one in particular, your question doesn't fall on deaf ears. The conscious soup we are immersed in responds. Watch carefully to see whose company you find yourself in. And by the way, I also claim guilt in this matter. There was a time when I did make fun of certain belief systems held by religious people. All I can say is here's to growth and change. Thanks for listening.